There is a big difference between a design that just looks good and a design that actually works. Whether you are building a digital portfolio, a clickable PDF, or a high end presentation, mastering the way your text looks and acts is the secret to leveling up your Canva game. In today's compilation, we are stripping away the fluff and focusing on the three essential skills every beginner needs to move past the basic templates. First, we are going deep in interactivity. I will show you how to turn any element into portal by adding hyperlinks to both text and images. Next, we are tackling navigation. If you are making multiple page documents, you need a clickable table of contents. It is the difference between a frustrated reader and a professional user experience, and it is way easier to set up than you think. Finally, we are talking aesthetics and readability. We will wrap up by mastering letter spacing and line height. These tiny adjustments are the pro secret to making your photography look balanced, expensive, and most importantly, easy to read. By the end of this video, your Canva project won't just be static images, they will be professional, interactive tools. Adding a link to your Canva design seems like it should be the easiest part of your project, but most people actually mess this up and end up with a file that doesn't actually work. You probably spent an hour making a beautiful digital business card or a PDF guide, only to find out that none of your buttons or social media icons do anything when you click them. I'm going to show you exactly how to fix that so your links work every single time, and if you stick around until the end, I will show you the one specific mistake people make when saving their file that breaks every single link they just created. The reason your links often fail is that Canva handles web data differently than a standard image editor. If you just grab a link and paste it onto your canvas, it just sits there as plain text. It doesn't actually become a piece of code that a browser can read. Think of it like writing a phone number on a piece of paper. The number is there, but you can't just tap the paper to make a call. You have to tell Canva specifically that this object is a gateway to another website. Let's get this working for you right now. First, open your design and find the image you want people to click on. This could be a logo, a button you designed, or even a photo of a product. You need to right-click directly on that image and look for the option that says link. When you click that, a small box appears where you can type or paste your URL. Make sure you include the full address, including the part that starts with HTTPS, so the browser knows exactly where to go. Once you have pasted the link, click Done to lock it in. Now, if you want to link a specific word or a heading, the process is almost the same, but you have to be careful with your selection. Select the text box and highlight the specific words you want to turn into a link. Again, use that link tool and insert your URL. You will notice Canva usually puts an underline under the text to show it is active. Here is that pro tip I promised you. If you download your design as a JPEG or a PNG, your links will be completely dead. Those formats are just flat pictures and they cannot hold link data. To make your links clickable, you must go to the Share button, hit Download, and change the file type to PDF. Only the PDF format preserves the code that makes your images and text interactive. If you want to take your digital designs even further, you should look into how to create a full link in bio website using Canva's free hosting tools next. Creating a professional ebook or guide in Canva is a great way to share your ideas, but there is one major mistake that makes your document feel amateur and difficult to use. If your readers have to scroll through 50 pages just to find a specific chapter, they are going to stop reading. You need a clickable table of contents to make your document interactive, but many people think this requires complex coding or expensive software. It actually only takes 3 minutes right inside the Canva editor. I'm going to show you exactly how to link your text to specific pages today, but stay tuned until the very end because there is one specific setting in the download menu that will completely break your links if you click it. I will show you how to avoid that so your hard work doesn't go to waste. The reason most people struggle with this is that they view Canva as just a graphic design tool rather than a document builder. When you create a standard text box, Canva sees it as a static object. It doesn't automatically know that the word introduction should lead to page 3. You have to manually bridge that gap. Think of it like building a physical bridge between two islands. Without the connection, your reader is just stranded on the table of contents page with no way to get across. Let's get into the step-by-step process. Open your document and navigate to your table of contents page. Hover your mouse over the first item you want to make interactive, such as your About Me or Introduction line. Once you click on that text box, you will see a small menu appear, or you can click the 3 dots labeled More. Look for the option that says Link. When you click this, a search bar pops up showing you various pages within your current document. Simply find the page title that matches your chapter and click on it. You will see the display mode say Link, and you should leave that exactly as it is before hitting the Done button. Now, that text is officially a portal to another part of your file. However, you might run into a confusing problem where your pages show up as untitled or just page 4 in that link menu. This makes it incredibly hard to know which page you are linking to. To fix this, scroll down to the actual page in your project and look at the top of the page workspace. You can type a specific name there, like Start Here or Chapter 1. Once you give the page a name, go back to your table of contents and try the link process again. You will see the actual name of the page appear in the list, making it much faster to organize everything without guessing. If you ever make a mistake or want to change where a link goes, just click the pencil icon to edit it or the trash can icon to remove it entirely. Now for that pro tip, I promised you to make sure this actually works once you send it to your readers. When you are finished and ready to save your work, click the share button and choose download. You must select PDF standard as your file type. Here is the critical part. Do not check the box that says flatten PDF. If you flatten the document, Canva turns every page into a single flat image. This kills all your interactive data and your links will stop working immediately. Keep that box unchecked to ensure the digital pads stay active. Once the download finishes, open the file and test it out. Clicking your table of contents should now instantly jump you to the correct section. Now that you have mastered navigation, you should look into how to set up consistent brand styles so every page you link to looks perfectly polished. Getting your text to look right in Canva is the difference between a design that looks like a messy middle school project and one that actually looks like it was made by a professional. Most people just type their words and leave them exactly as they appear, which usually results in text that feels cramped or awkwardly floating in space. I'm going to show you exactly how to fix those crowded letters and messy line gaps right now. Stick around until the end because I'm also going to share a specific keyboard shortcut that lets you adjust these settings without ever clicking a single menu button, which is a massive time saver when you're in the flow of designing. The reason your text often looks off when you first type it into a template is because every font has a default setting that doesn't account for your specific layout. Think of it like buying a suit off the rack. It might technically fit, but it usually needs a little tailoring to actually look good. When your letters are too close together, they become hard to read from a distance. When your lines of text are too far apart, The human eye struggles to jump from the end of one sentence to the start of the next. By manually adjusting the letter spacing and line height, you're basically tailoring your font to fit the exact vibe of your project. To get started, open up your Canva account and pull up the project you're working on. If you're starting from scratch, just click on that text option in your side panel and add a heading to your blank canvas. Once your text is there, you'll see a toolbar pop up right above your design area. This is where all the control happens. Before we touch the spacing, make sure your font size is where you want it. You can do this by typing a specific number in the top bar, clicking the plus or minus buttons, or just grabbing the corners of the text box and pulling them outward to scale it up. Now, look at that top toolbar for an icon that looks like the letter with a double-headed arrow next to them. This is your spacing menu. Click that and you'll see two distinct sliders. The first one is letter spacing. This controls the horizontal gaps between every individual character. If you're using an all caps font for a high-end luxury look, try sliding this to the right to add more air between the letters. If your text feels disconnected, slide it back to the left. The second slider is line spacing, which handles the vertical distance between your lines of text. If you have a big block of body text that looks like a solid wall of ink, increasing this slightly will make it much easier for your audience to read. On the flip side, if you're making a tight, punchy headline, you might want to decrease the line spacing so the words feel like one cohesive unit. While you're doing this, you might notice your text box moving around. You can just click and drag the whole box to reposition it, and Canva will show you those purple guidelines to help you keep everything centered and aligned with the rest of your elements. For those tiny pixel perfect moves, just use the arrow keys on your keyboard to nudge the text box exactly where it needs to go. Now for the pro tip I mentioned at the start, you don't actually have to open that spacing menu every single time. If you select your text box, you can using the up and down arrows while holding Alt and Control on Windows or Option and Command on Mac will adjust your line height. This lets you see the changes happen in real time without a menu blocking your view of the design. And here you have it, three foundational skills that take you from a Canva novice to a confident creator. It's easy to overlook things like line height or a clickable table of contents, but these are the details that separate amateur work from agency quality. By mastering how your text breathes and how your audience interacts with your links, you aren't just making graphics anymore. You are building an experience. Remember, the best way to make these tips stick is to jump into your latest project right now and try them out. Try linking an image to your specific website or take a look at your headers and see if a little extra letter spacing gives them the high-end modern look you have been aiming for. I really hope these tutorials help simplify the process for you. If you found a specific tips useful, or if there is a Canva feature you are still struggling with, let me know in the comments. I love hearing what you are working on.